We welcome into the studio Amelia Hitchings from Mainpower. You're the Marketing and Customer Advisor. G'day, Amelia. How are you?
Hello.
It's nice to have you back into the studio. Welcome to Compass FM. Now, Amelia, today, what are you going to be telling us about?
Look, I'm going to be talking to you about trees and power lines. And I know you've heard about this a few times before, but it is still very conscious on my mind. We've had a few windstorms recently, and I know when we get some of those, we do lose power sometimes. And I just want to talk to you about why that is.
Yep.
So look, taking you back to a few months ago during a windstorm where we actually received a call from a customer letting us know that a 20-metre pine tree had gone through our power lines.
Holy moly.
Yeah, landed on the ground. So obviously, the most important concern of ours is safety. So making sure that nobody was hurt and everybody understands that the power lines could still be live and to just stay away from them. While all of that is sort of happening, we were getting more phone calls from customers. So we ended up having about 400 customers without power. So that's quite significant when you think about those customers and what they might rely on power for. So, for example, for work, for having children at home, or being medically dependent on power in some way.
Yeah, definitely. So what happens in that case if someone is medically dependent? Would Mainpower know about that?
So yes, we should know about that. So as long as they've notified their retailer, we will know that they're medically dependent. But I guess the first priority is obviously the customer. So if they are medically dependent, they do need to, and they need power urgently, they do need to call 111. That's the best way to get urgent medical attention.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Amelia, North Canterbury is huge. So timeframes to get your staff there?
Oh, look, it can take a really long time. In the case we're talking about before with the 20-metre pine tree on the lines, it took, I think, about 40 minutes to get our first staff member there. That's how far away our depot was, and we didn't have anybody close in the region. So, yeah, it can be quite stressful.
Yeah, I can imagine trying to divert someone. They're working on something else, and then they've got to quickly jump into action and get to where it is. And, of course, when they get there, they might not know what's going on unless someone has rung in to say there's been a tree that's just landed on your power lines.
Absolutely. Calling us and letting us know is really important. It can help us pinpoint the location a little bit better and, get to it a lot faster.
So, Amelia, I'm talking to Amelia from Mainpower. So when the team arrives, what are some of the standard things that they need to do?
Sure. So, first of all, obviously, safety is our first priority. So just making sure the site is safe. So getting a control room to make sure the lines are de-energised, and then we sort of double check that once we're on site as well. And that's when the work starts. So in this case, it was a huge tree. So we had our vegetation team cutting through it, and I don't know if you've ever cut through a 20 metre pine.
That would take quite some time.
It does take quite a lot of time. So cutting through that, removing it from the lines, we had to, in this case, pin the lines down because if we didn't have them pinned down when we removed the tree, they could have sprung up like a rubber band.
I'm with you. So physically actually pin the lines to the ground, essentially.
Yeah,
wow.
Essentially, yeah. And then once we had removed the tree, released the lines slowly back up to where they should be, we then had to fix all the cross arms, get everything back to how it should be, fix the conductor, which is the power line.
Right.
Make everything safe and turn the power back on. But in this case, that didn't happen until 10 o'clock at night. So can be without power for quite a long time.
Yeah, that is a major undertaking. And I believe we were possibly affected by that as well too, because our transmitter's on the top of Mount Grey, as you know.
Yes.
So sometimes, and jolly old possums, they cause all sorts of mischief in lots of places, don't they?
All sorts of animals, yeah.
Now, Amelia, we've talked about branches falling on power lines, and of course the cost fall to the tree owner, don't they?
Yes, they do.
So if I go, I really want to get rid of that tree, that eucalyptus is bugging me, something shocking, and it's near a power line, and we chop it down and it lands on the power line.
Yes. Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so that's your cost, unfortunately. So, if you think about a tree, if it falls on your neighbour's shed, it's your responsibility. So we wouldn't expect the neighbours down the road to cover this cost. It's the same when a tree falls onto our power lines. The power lines and power poles are actually Mainpower's assets. So it can cost thousands and thousands of dollars to repair a fault of this size, the size of the 20-metre tree we were talking about before. And as a community-owned organisation, the costs need to lie where they fall. So in this case, if you're the tree owner, you're liable for those costs.
So this tree, was it on someone's property, the 20-metre tree that fell?
Yes, it was.
So the person got the bill for that, I would imagine.
They did. Yeah, so hopefully they've got liability insurance. It's definitely something to look into if you're, a farmer or,
That's a really good thought because I guess, if you are on a farm and there are established trees, or you've just bought a property, you may not be aware of that. So that's just something that you can look at as well. So, okay, Amelia, so what should I do to make sure that my trees, if I own them, don't fall onto the power lines?
Yeah, sure. So look, if they're looking old or unstable, just have a look, get someone to quote, see what they think. So we can always have a look at that for you. Just give us a call. We're happy to help. We can we do issue notices for cut and trim notices for trees, but we don't see everything. North Canterbury is a big place and there are a lot of trees.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, make sure you do engage someone who is aware of the risks around power lines, because if they do touch them while they're chopping the trees, it could be quite a serious injury or even death.
Indeed. So Mainpower can help you engage an approved third-party contractor, because safety is high importance here. You don't really want to be playing with power at all. So I'd imagine it's really important to choose the right person.
Yes, absolutely. Yep, someone who's really safe and knows what they're doing.
Yeah, lovely. So you can help that. Amelia Hitchings from Mainpower, where can our listeners find out more information on maybe getting their trees trimmed or help with what to do?
Yeah, sure. So our website, mainpower.co.nz, or you can call us on 0800 30 90 80. And we've also got a couple of events that we're attending coming up. So you can come and have a chat to us on the weekend at the Kaikoura AMP show.
Nice.
Which we're pretty excited about. And we're also attending the South Island Field Days in Kauai at the end of March alongside Orion, EA and Alpine Energy. So do pop in if you're around.
Oh, I think that's great that you're, all together, collaborative.
Yep.
I mean, why not?
We're pretty excited.
Yeah,
it should be really good.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you so much. It's Amelia Hitchings from Mainpower, Marketing and Customer Advisor. Just give them a call if you need any help. 0800 30 90 80.
Compass FM.